Today we're going to review adding and subtracting with decimals. So this hopefully should be a review for everyone. The important thing is that we need to remember we need to line up our decimals. Anytime we are adding and subtracting, they must be lined up. So if I go use my cube strategy and I go through this, Marilyn owns a tablet that has 75.2 or 2/10 megabytes of available space. She's going to download a song that is 4 and 7200 megabytes. Then she's going to download an app that's 62 and 5/10 megabytes of space. We want to estimate how many megabytes of available space she will have after downloading the song. So let's change all of our numbers to really easy numbers that we can work with. 75 and 2/10 is about 75. The song is going to be 4 and 7200, so I'm going to take that up here. That's about 5 if I round it up. And the app is going to be about 63. So the two items that she's downloading are 63 and 5. That's a total of 68. There's a total amount of 75. So we're going to subtract that 68 from the 75. 75 take away 68. When I come here, and just a friendly reminder for borrowing, I get an answer of about 7 megabytes. Okay. Exactly how many megabytes of space does Marilyn have after downloading the song? So we need to actually do the work here. Okay, so we are going to do the addition first because it's in parentheses, and then subtract that from the 75 and 2/10. So when we did the estimation, really easy, something I could do in my head. Now we have to actually go back and do the work. So we're going to add 62 and 5/10. We're going to add 4 and 7200. You are going to see that I have all of these lined up in the place values. So here is my little ghost 0 if I want to put it in there. That's the hundredths place. Here's the tenths place, and that decimal right here is lined up. Okay, we're going to bring it straight down. Then we have my ones place, and finally my tens. So let's go ahead and add 0. I'm going to go 0 plus 2 is 2. 5 and 7 is 12, so I put the 2 down, and I carry the 1 to the next place value. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 4 is 7, and I bring my 6 down. So I had an estimate here of 68. This number is awfully close to 68, so I'm doing well so far. I then want to take this number, and I want to subtract it from 75 and 2/10. So again, I'm going to line up my place values. My decimal is going to come straight down here. And then here's my hundredths place, my tenths, my ones, and my tens. Now, I didn't really need this ghost 0 here before, but now it's really, really important I put that ghost 0 in there, okay? Because if I don't have anything there, I can't just say that's a 2. If I have 0 here and I take away 2, I can't do that. So now is where we're going to get into borrowing. So I'm going to come over to my neighbor. I'm going to take 1 away. And then when it comes over a place value, that becomes a unit of 10 to add to the 0 that's there. So 10 take away 2 gives me 8. In my tenths place, 1 take away 2 isn't going to work. So I'm going to have to come over here to my neighbor. I'm going to borrow from the 5. The 5 becomes a 4. I did not give myself much space here at all, did I? Let's see if we can get rid of this here for the time being. Let's cross this out, make that a 4. Come over here, this 1 becomes 11. 11 take away 2 is 9. Come to my ones place. 4 take away 7 isn't possible, so again I come and do some more borrowing. 7 becomes a 6. My 4 becomes 10 more, so it's 14. 14 take away 7 is 7. And then here's my 6 take away 0. 6 is 0. I don't need that 0 in the front there. My answer is 7 and 98 hundredths. And that would be megabytes. Okay, which was very close to my estimate up here of 7. Okay. if we look down here, problem number 3, Santoki solved Marilyn's problem in the following way, okay, and got an answer of 6 and 423 megabytes. What mistakes did Santoki make? Well, look at these decimals. If I try to follow them right here, okay, she's adding a 200ths and a 5/10. You can't add those together and make 7 thousandths, okay? Just like this 4 is worth a value of 4 here, this 6 is worth 60. So you can't add a 4 and a 60 together and get 0/10, okay? So we need to line up each of these decimals, okay? So in order to do that, let's do 1 or 2 more practice problems here. We're going to take this 4 and 7200ths, and we would line them up just like that, which is our same problem up here. And same thing here, this was the correct way of doing it, okay? Let's do 2 more practice problems, okay? If I have the number 16 here, take away 4 and 8500ths. I can round this just to 16, or if I wanted to, I could round it up to 20. I could round this to 4, maybe I'd round it to 5. So you're going to see that we could get some different answers depending on how precise we are. That's okay. Either of those are great estimates. We're going to go ahead and line up our decimals. When I write the 16, I don't have a decimal in it. You're right. But if I were to rewrite this as money, I could write it as $16 like that, right? So I can add a decimal at the end of it. I'm going to take my 4 and line up my decimal right in front of it. I'm going to put my 8 and my 5 behind it. So my decimal is always lined up, as well as all my place values. When I go to subtract, I'm going to see there's nothing in this box here or here. So I'm going to add some ghost zeros. So they will help me with my borrowing. All right. So let's go ahead and let's take care of this problem. So if I have 0, take away 5, it's not 5. I can't do that. So I go to my neighbor in the 10th place, and nobody is home there. So I have to go over to the 6. Somebody is home in the 1's place. So I'm going to borrow from the 6 and make that a 5. I'm going to take that over here, and it's going to be a unit of 10 plus the 0 becomes 10. But the problem is I still need somebody over here in the hundredths place. So I'm going to borrow 1 from the 10 and make it a 9. Okay, it's really important you do that step. So that means that a unit of 10 can come over here to join the 0. So I now have 10, take away 5 is 5. I can do 9, take away 8 and get 1. 5, take away 4 is 1, and there's nothing here, so 1 take away 0 is 1. I can't forget to bring my decimal down. I get an answer of 11 and 1500ths, which is close to my estimate here. If I wanted to check my answers, my $1 million answer that if I have it correct, it's gold, I could use the inverse operation. So addition and subtraction are BFFs. They go together, kind of like Mrs. Myers and Frank. Or for those of you who I told you about my new vacuum cleaner, maybe Mrs. Myers and her new vacuum cleaner I'm in love with. Okay? They kind of all work together. So if I want to check this, I can take my number, I can do the opposite of subtraction, which is addition, and I can add these 2 numbers up to check that I get 16. So 5 plus 5 is 10, carry my 1. 1 plus 8 plus 1 is 10, so I carry the 1. 1 plus 4 plus 1 gives me 6, carry the 1. And 1 plus 0, or I'm sorry, why am I carrying the 1? That's silly. 1 plus 4 plus 1 is just 6, and 0 plus 1 is 1. Bring down my decimal, and look, by golly, I got what I started with. So you can always use this to check. Let's come over here really quickly. We could round this up maybe to 20. We could round this to 200. 200 plus 20 is about 220. Maybe some of you will round this to 210, and some of you will round this to 20, and you'll get 230. Some of you might round this to 19 plus 208 because your brain just does numbers really well, and you get an answer of 227. Any of those estimates are perfectly fine. Let's line up my decimals. Okay, I'm going to put my ghost 0 in here so that I have all my place values lined up, along with my decimal, which I can go ahead and bring straight down. 0 plus 3 is 3. 1 plus 0 is 1. 9 plus 7 is 16. So I put the 6 down, carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, and I bring down my 2. Here's my answer, 226 and 1300ths. I could do my subtraction and work the problem backward to see if this is what I end up with. 226 and 1300ths. Take away 207 and 3/10. Do some quick subtracting. Double check to make sure everything's lined up. 3 take away 3 is 0. 1 take away 0 is 1. Bring down my decimal. 6 take away 7 is not 1. I have to come borrow. So a 10 comes over, making it 16. 16 take away 7 is 9. 1 take away 0 is 1. And this cancels out. Look at that. We're going to do a little practice on journal page 118. We are going to practice for addition problems at the top, making sure that we also do an estimate for each one and then actually solving. And down at the bottom, we're going to estimate and then actually subtract.